What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Vanji here, and I'm here with a video. I'm gonna be showing you guys how I got this hair. So yeah, it's a wig that I made. It's a full frontal, and yeah. Okay, so the first thing that I did, of course, was to set my wig cap on my blockhead, and that is the frontal. As you guys can see, this is a 12-inch Waterwave. I think the closure, though, the frontal was a 10-inch. So this part really takes a long time. Like, you have to be patient. So what I was doing here was I was laying the frontal on the cap. So as you guys can see, I didn't where the hair ends, I did not put that where the cap ends. Instead, I pulled it a little forward by about an inch or so. But yeah, so you just want to be really careful with this part, otherwise your closure is you're not gonna be very comfortable with it, because I noticed some mistakes that I made. Like, I had sewed around too much, but it was still fine. But I think I hadn't placed my frontal very perfectly on the wig cap, but it still turned out really okay. So next is I'm just gonna put the hair away because it's so annoying. Like, you don't want the hair in your face. And then yeah, like, after I continued to pin down the other parts, and then I take my needle. So I use these curved needles and I just begin to sew. There's really no specific method that I use for sewing, honestly. I just do a simple running stitch, but at the beginning I do a small back stitch just to secure the cotton, to secure my thread inside the wig, that way it doesn't loosen up. Also, I tie a knot at the end of my thread, that way it doesn't loosen either, that way I don't have my wig falling off in the future. And also I use twine, or fishing thread as it's called. That's what I use to sew my wigs. I know it seems very bulky. It is a bit bulky, but I really honestly couldn't find any nice thread around that I could use apart from knitting wool. Apart from knitting wool, I think this is the best option that I found for making wigs, and it's absolutely not bulky at all. Like, I don't even feel it, because my problem with simple sewing thread most times it's not as sturdy. So those are the bundles that I had. It came with 4 bundles. Honestly, I only needed 3. I felt like 4 was a bit much because it's very full. So sometimes I don't like the overly full look, but it still worked nonetheless. And then when I'm starting, I start with my thread. Of course, the thread has a knot at the end, so I pull the thread through the weft just to secure it in the weft, and then that's when I start to connect it onto my wig cap, and then from there I just sew. So as you guys can see, what I do is I take the wig after I sew in the weft, after I sew in the weft, I just pin it on the other end. That way it makes it easier for me. When I sew it in from one corner, I just pin it on the other end, and then I just sew. I find that's a way faster method, instead of like holding the weft and trying to sew along. But if I pin it on the other side, it's very easy. But again, that's because I'm using a running stitch. I'm not stitching in any special way, but that works for me because I'm using fishing twine, so my thread is super sturdy. But if you were using normal thread, then of course you would have to use something like a blanket stitch or something like that, because that's going to, or you will want to knot your needle after every loop, because that's what's gonna make it stronger and last longer. While for this, I literally have some wigs that are like 2 years old, and they're over 2 years old, and they've never come off the thing. While when I was using normal thread, it just used to come off. So yeah, and then now that I'm at the middle of the wig, I hope you guys can see this, but if you can see, I'm sort of sewing in a U shape. So sewing from the front, moving into like a sort of rounded U shape like that, and then I just keep following through with that all the way till I get to the very top of the wig. That is literally how I'm gonna be sewing all the way up until I get to the very end of the wig. I just keep sewing in a U thread in a U shaped kind of way, and yeah. Okay, so a little detail about this hair. This is a 12-inch Waterwave 13 by 4 frontal. So I got bundles. As you guys can see from Lou's hair store, I'll post their Instagram in the description. So now that I'm done, you guys can see there's the excess wig cap. So I take my little scissors and I cut the excess wig cap out because you don't want it there, because and it doesn't make it look so natural. So what's gonna really create that fake scalp effect is the fact that your lace is against your skin and whatever. So I just laid it, set the wig cap on the head. I know it looks crazy right now, but trust me, it looked better. So here I had excess hair. Like I said, I only needed 3 bundles, but I still had some excess hair, so I was just looking in the wig trying to find some gaps that needed some filling. So that's just what I was doing, just trying to figure out the gaps that needed the filling and everything. So yeah, continuing on where I got this hair from, I got it from Lou's hair store. So this is it is a grade 10A Waterwave. I absolutely love this hair. It is super duper very very soft, like extremely soft. Like it feels really amazing. I've had it for 3 months now, and I wore it consecutively for like 2 months. Like I'd have it glued on, but I have not experienced any shedding, and their hair is like super duper affordable, especially if you're looking for shorter lengths, and they usually have it available. And like I said, I will have a link to their Twitter and whatever in my description, or you can hit me up for it. So yeah, this is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I had so much fun doing this, and I absolutely love my hair. Anyways, I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Bye.